Trump wins again. The impact on BRICS plus Russia, India and global power shift explained. In this powerful analysis, we break down the sweeping global changes following Donald Trump's historic victory and what it means for the BRICS plus alliance. With Trump's unique stance on foreign policy, particularly his America First approach and soft corner for Russia and India, the world is about to witness a shift like never before. In this video, we explore how Trump's policies may empower the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and the new BRICS Plus members. Watch as we dive deep into the complex and shifting dynamics of NATO, the European Union, and the global balance of power, and how the BRICS Plus alliance could emerge stronger in response. Key discussion points. The Russia-India advantage. Trump's favorable relations with Moscow and New Delhi might boost BRICS cooperation, making the alliance a dominant economic and political force. Impact on NATO and the EU. As Trump pushes NATO allies to pay their fair share, European countries could be pressured into rethinking alliances, giving BRICS Plus room to expand its influence. BRICS Plus expansion and financial independence. Discover how BRICS Plus could take advantage of U.S. isolationism by creating alternative financial systems, new trade routes, and even their own currency. Future of U.S. China relations and trade wars. Trump's tough stance on China means rising tensions. But what will this mean for the global economy, and how can BRICS Plus benefit from shifting alliances? Middle East, Iran and Israel. How Trump's policies on the Middle East could affect the BRICS energy alliance and further strengthen economic ties within the bloc. Get ready to explore the new geopolitical reality with Trump in office. Enhanced position for Russia in BRICS Plus. Under Trump's presidency, Russia stands to gain both within the BRICS alliance and beyond. Trump's relatively less confrontational approach towards Moscow could mean reduced pressure on Russia, enabling it to leverage its BRICS membership more effectively. While Biden's administration was firmly aligned with NATO in countering Russia, Trump's past remarks indicate a reluctance to entangle the US deeply in European conflicts. This could translate into fewer obstacles for Russia within BRICS, where it could play a central role in fostering multilateral initiatives free from Western interference. For Russia, BRICS Plus offers a platform to deepen ties with key non-Western economies, creating a financial and political cushion against Western sanctions. For example, energy trade. The Russia-China energy partnership has already seen significant growth, with China relying heavily on Russian oil and gas. Trump's presidency could facilitate more secure and uninterrupted energy routes to BRICS nations, reinforcing Moscow's position as a primary energy provider within the bloc. Sanction evasion mechanisms. BRICS has already explored establishing alternative financial systems to evade the SWIFT system controlled by the West. Trump's disinterest in aggressive sanctions on Russia may encourage BRICS Plus to further build financial structures like the New Development Bank, NDB, and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, reducing dependency on Western banks and enhancing financial autonomy. India finds itself in a highly favorable position under Trump, who has been vocally appreciative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and supportive of Indo-American partnerships. Trump's soft corner for India could lead to bolstered ties with the US, while India also enjoys increasing influence within BRICS. Unlike previous US administrations, which often pressured India to align with the West's agenda, a Trump presidency may allow New Delhi more flexibility to balance its relationships. Key advantages for India include trade and defense flexibility. Trump's potential relaxation of certain tariffs and emphasis on bilateral trade deals could benefit India's export economy. defense ties between the US and India are likely to strengthen without the strings of multilateral obligations, enabling India to modernize its military while maintaining its non-aligned stance within Brics. Counterweight to China within Brics. India's strong relations with the US could allow it to act as a counterbalance to China within Brics. This may attract other Brics members who are wary of China's dominance, positioning India as a mediator and influencer within the alliance. Support for the Indo-Pacific strategy. Trump's focus on containing China aligns with India's strategic goals in the Indo-Pacific. With the US encouraging India's leadership role in the region, New Delhi can engage with Brics economically while coordinating with the US on security issues, thus maximizing its strategic autonomy. The addition of new Brics Plus members, potentially including countries like Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and Indonesia, comes at a time when Trump's inward-looking economic policies may drive these nations toward Brics as an alternative to Western institutions. Trump's skepticism about US commitments to NATO and the EU will likely extend to broader international organizations, encouraging emerging economies to diversify their partnerships. Brics Plus could take advantage of Trump's shift away from global trade agreements, positioning itself as a robust alternative to institutions like the WTO. For Brics Plus economies, this means expansion of non-Western trade routes. Brics nations are already exploring trade routes that bypass Western-controlled maritime corridors. Trump's focus on America First may accelerate this development, allowing Brics Plus to implement trade routes through Eurasia and the Middle East, thereby linking Asia, Africa, and South America more directly. Commodity and currency independence. Brics has long discussed creating a reserve currency to bypass the US dollar. Trump's isolationist policies could make this an urgent goal, with Brics Plus developing a currency mechanism based on a basket of member currencies, reducing dependency on the dollar and insulating their economies from dollar-based fluctuations. Trump's policy of non-interventionism, especially in regions like Latin America and Africa, might open the door for Brics to increase its presence in these regions. Previously, US administrations maintained influence in Latin America to counteract China and Russia's growing involvement. With Trump's reduced focus on intervention, Brics members like China and Russia may increase their investments and partnerships in these regions unchallenged. China and Russia's influence in Latin America. Nations like Brazil, a key Brics member, will likely benefit from expanded Brics economic projects, such as infrastructure and energy investments. Trump's potential disengagement from Latin America could reduce the barriers Brics faces in promoting Chinese and Russian-led development projects, from mining operations to digital infrastructure. Africa's development partnerships with Brics African nations are already key beneficiaries of Chinese-led Brics projects, including the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. Trump's decreased emphasis on African aid and development means that Brics could step into the vacuum, leading to further political and economic influence on the continent. For African countries, Brics partnerships offer an alternative development model that is less focused on political strings and more on mutual trade. One of the most significant points of contention between Western powers and developing nations has been the approach to climate policy. Trump's likely exit from the Paris Agreement and disinterest in carbon tariffs means that Brics members, many of whom are rapidly industrializing and reliant on fossil fuels, will experience fewer external pressures to adopt stringent environmental standards that may limit their economic growth. Expansion of Brics development models. Brazil, India, and China have all expressed frustration with Western-imposed climate policies. Without pressure from the US on issues like the EU's carbon border tax, Brics can set its own pace for transitioning to sustainable energy sources, prioritizing economic growth. Boost to natural resource industries. Nations rich in natural resources, such as Brazil with its Amazonian resources and Russia with its vast oil and gas reserves, could see increased investments within Brics, unencumbered by stringent environmental stipulations. This allows BRICS nations to maximize their natural resource wealth and reinvest in their economies without facing punitive sanctions or tariffs from the West. With Trump questioning NATO's role and pushing for burden sharing among allies, BRICS nations gain a geopolitical advantage by reinforcing their own security alliances and reducing reliance on Western powers for regional stability. This could accelerate the formation of BRICS-led security cooperation, allowing member states to strengthen their military autonomy. Joint military exercises and defense research. BRICS has explored defense cooperation in the past, but Trump's policies may prompt even greater focus on joint military development. With the U.S. no longer committed to policing various regions, BRICS nations may work toward establishing their own peacekeeping forces or cooperative military initiatives. Reduced U.S. presence in strategic regions. Trump's reduced interest in maintaining overseas military bases and alliances in areas such as the Middle East and South Asia could embolden BRICS members like China and Russia to enhance their own strategic reach, potentially expanding BRICS's influence in contested areas such as the South China Sea and Central Asia. Long-term institutional autonomy, financial and strategic independence. Finally, Trump's transactional approach to foreign policy underscores a broader shift away from the globalized, multilateral order, providing BRICS an opportunity to establish alternative institutions and mechanisms that serve emerging economies rather than Western powers. BRICS could leverage Trump's presidency to redefine global standards on trade, finance, and security that are less centered on Western frameworks. Alternative financial institutions, the new development bank, and the contingent reserve arrangement offer BRICS a platform to create a financial safety net for emerging markets, bypassing the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. With Trump's emphasis on U.S. domestic interests, BRICS could accelerate the establishment of these alternatives, drawing in more countries to establish a resilient economic bloc, strengthening multilateral influence. With BRICS ambitions to include more nations in its BRICS Plus initiative, Trump's foreign policy could help the alliance establish itself as a key player in multilateral forums, championing the interests of developing nations in arenas like the UN, WTO, and G20. BRICS Plus in the new geopolitical landscape. Trump's re-election heralds a unique realignment of global power structures. With his soft stance on traditional BRICS members like Russia and India and his reluctance to impose Western norms on global governance, BRICS Plus stands to gain remarkable leverage as an alternative alliance. From economic independence to enhanced political influence in regions once dominated by Western intervention, the alliance could transform into a formidable bloc that redefines global multipolarity. This pivotal moment in history places BRICS Plus at the heart of an emerging new world order, where alliances are built not on imposed standards but on cooperation that respects the diversity of economic and political systems. As Trump's America steps back from the role of global enforcer, BRICS Plus could step forward, pioneering a system of alliances that may shape the future of international relations for decades to come. Conclusion: how Trump's administration may directly help to benefit BRICS Plus. A Trump victory could influence BRICS Plus in several potential ways due to his distinct positions on global alliances, particularly regarding NATO and his individual leanings toward Russia and India. Here's how a Trump-led U.S. administration might impact BRICS Plus's improved U.S.-Russia relations. Trump's history of favoring dialogue with Russia and his willingness to ease tensions could lead to a geopolitical realignment. BRICS Plus, already including Russia as a member, could see reduced U.S. opposition to its efforts if Trump pursues policies that don't place sanctions or military pressure on Russia. This reduced pressure could facilitate deeper economic and security cooperation within BRICS Plus, allowing them to focus on initiatives that strengthen the bloc's role as an alternative to Western-dominated alliances. Enhanced U.S.-India cooperation. Trump has historically viewed India as a strategic partner in countering China's influence in Asia. This might enhance bilateral trade and defense relations between the US and India, which could, in turn, empower India's standing in BRICS Plus. A stronger India with US backing in specific areas could amplify India's influence within BRICS, potentially balancing China's dominance within the group and providing the alliance with a more diversified leadership base. Strained relations with NATO and the EU. Trump's critical stance on NATO, especially regarding Europe's defense spending, could weaken transatlantic ties, creating a unique opportunity for BRICS Plus to present itself as a multipolar alternative to the Western alliances. European countries facing a more transactional relationship with the US may increasingly seek alternative trade and economic relationships, possibly with BRICS Plus countries. This shift could help BRICS Plus expand its economic influence, especially if it moves to position itself as an alternative forum for international cooperation. Support for multipolarity. Trump's policies often favor bilateral deals over multinational agreements, contrasting with traditional US support for global governance institutions. This shift could encourage a world order more aligned with BRICS Plus's vision of multipolarity. Trump's administration might reduce active opposition to BRICS initiatives, potentially giving the group more freedom to operate and expand without significant US interference, thus allowing countries within BRICS to shape global economic and policy frameworks on their terms. Energy and trade alliances. Trump's focus on America First policies and reduced emphasis on climate regulations could pave the way for greater energy cooperation between the US and BRICS nations, particularly in oil and natural gas sectors. Russia and India, as significant players in BRICS, could find US alignment in energy trade more feasible under Trump, which may reduce global energy prices and create new trade avenues for BRICS Plus countries. Weakened Western bloc's influence. Trump's disengagement from the Paris Agreement and other global institutions may signal a further shift away from the global governance frameworks led by the West. This could help BRICS Plus accelerate its initiatives, such as the New Development Bank, NDB, without the challenge of US-led international structures pushing back against BRICS-led alternatives. The vacuum created by a less globally active US might be filled by BRICS Plus, which seeks to offer an alternative governance model that respects sovereignty and non-interventionism. Potential for currency and financial initiatives. A Trump presidency might increase global uncertainty regarding the dollar, especially if he continues trade wars or imposes tariffs. This uncertainty could drive BRICS Plus members to pursue their plans for a new trade currency or alternative payment systems to reduce reliance on the dollar, positioning BRICS Plus as a pioneering force for financial autonomy among emerging markets. Summary. Trump's softer stance on Russia, favorable relations with India, and hardline approach to NATO and the EU could benefit BRICS Plus by allowing for increased strategic autonomy, energy cooperation, and currency innovation. These factors could position BRICS Plus to attract new member states or create strategic partnerships, enhancing its status as a major player in global multipolar governance.